Now we're going to talk about the various forms in which people do business. Before we get started on the forms, I know this material is somewhat dry, but it can be critically important. Remember, every time somebody starts a business, one of two things are going to happen. Either the business is going to close, or the business is going to be sold to somebody else. There's no other choices. Now, successful ongoing businesses sell for as much as 10 times annual earnings. So when you have a client or when you're starting a business of your own, you want to think, when it's time for me to retire, do I want to shut down my business, or would I like to sell it for 10 times its annual income, or 5 times its annual income, and have that money to live on during my retirement and possibly to pass on to my family or my heirs in my will? I think almost everybody would like to rather sell the business than just have to shut it down and close it and not have any money. And the way you choose to set up your business is one way that can determine whether your business is one of the ones that's going to be sold or one of the ones that's just simply going to be shut down and liquidated for pennies on the dollar. Now, the first form of business that we'll talk about is a sole proprietorship. Now, one of my buddies likes to say that the definition of a sole proprietor is an idiot. The reason is that if you're a sole proprietor, all of your personal assets and all of your business assets are at risk to lawsuits from creditors, as well as if you're negligent and any tort claimant. So when you're a sole proprietor, everything that you have is at risk. As a sole proprietor, you are liable for all of your debts and any other lawsuits. Now, also, as a sole proprietor, there's another tax advantage to it, and that is that you can treat any losses associated with the business you can claim on your personal income tax return. As the sole proprietor, you manage the business. It costs nothing to set up a sole proprietorship, but the only way the business can be sold is if the sole proprietor chooses to sell it. But again, because there's so many other better forms of doing business available, I really can't think of a good reason why you would ever want to operate as a sole proprietorship.